Um, let's see. Let's talk about. Let me see. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about Play Now Online.
Okay.
Where's Kushmir?
Yeah. Well, real quick on Play Now Online, let me just say, with the Golden
Yeah,
State Warriors broken up, it should be a lot more fun in general.
it's gonna be more fun in general. I think I wrote an article about that right after the last major move in the offseason, right? As
Yeah.
everybody's talking about the NBA being more fun, the NBA 2K experience and Play Now Online is going to be more fun because you should see a big variety in the teams that people are choosing. Also, you should see a big variety in the teams that players are using because guards are now not
Right.
obsolete.
Right.
So you got teams with great guards. You can see people picking them. You won't always have people doing all these different things. I mean, Giannis is still a problem. I'm just gonna tell y'all right now. Giannis is still a problem. Giannis can guard a lot of positions, maybe all five. But you know what? I'm not that mad because we're talking about him, who
Yeah.
is a literal freak of nature athletically and from a size standpoint. But I think that is going to impact Play Now Online a lot. I don't think they're doing anything different. I haven't seen anyone talking about them doing anything different in regards to the way that is structured or worked. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe something will come down the pike. In between the next thing and the last thing that's coming in regards to the information. I don't know, but I would be a little bit surprised if something else came out for that. I think it's going to be. I know it's going to be in the game. I saw it on the menu, but I just don't think that there's going to be more done to it. Here's what I think they did, and I think this is what Madden tried to do this year. And to a degree, Madden succeeded, right? But I think that they tried to improve every mode by simply improving the gameplay.
Yeah, and I'm glad they had a gameplay year. I think that's a good
Yeah.
look for them. I will say one thing I hope is improved from Play Now Online. I didn't play much Play Now Online last year,
Mm-hmm.
but when I did play, it was after I'd gotten really used to the game for a while. So you start in the lower ranks, and other people in those lower ranks are there, and it was just so ridiculously toxic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like there were so many pauses and timeouts, and people just leaving and just crying on the microphone.
Dude,
It's just like,
one day I was playing a Play Now Online game.
yeah,
This dude called so many He's paused the game so many times, called timeout so much. I don't even be on the mic when I'm playing.
yeah.
I picked up the mic. I said, "Do you have to boo boo or something? Why did you get on the game if you knew you had to go to the bathroom? If your mama told you to get off the game, get off the game, boy."
Dude, I don't
My
remember
God,
what
I
team
just
I was
went
using,
off. I
but it
went
was a
off.
team with he had the Golden State Warriors, so his team was better than mine.
Right.
And I was beating him up, and he was just literally every time I scored, he would pause, adjust something. Can we just streamline this a little bit? Like there should be a 2-minute. Every pause should cost a timeout. First of all, like
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I do know.
I think every pause within a 5-minute period, a second pause in a 5-minute period, should be a timeout.
Yeah, I give you one free pause a quarter. That's plenty.
Yes, one free pause, and that's a lot.
That's plenty. That's 4.
In 6-minute quarters, that's a lot.
Yeah, maybe a half.
Yeah, a half. A half.
Because let me tell you something. It takes just as long to play an NBA online game as it does to play a game of Overwatch. If there was pausing 4 or 5 times in Overwatch,
Oh my God, people would lose their mind.
We'd be out of there. Like
They would
seriously,
lose their mind, bro.
I don't know how you're gonna have and the thing is the 2K community is soft when it comes to competition, no offense.
They
but
are.
like they are
No,
well
man, they are.
weak
They are.
minded, putty of people. You know what I'm saying? They
They
like
are, man.
liver left in
They
the
are.
refrigerator
They are,
for
man.
time.
And they are, man. Like, dude, what did Mike ask this question? He asked the question. He said, "Should at some point should the ability to get a green on a jump shot be locked?" Right? And I said, absolutely not. And I put up a meme of Kobe making a ridiculously heavily contested shot. And then other people started following, putting up similar memes. People were coming at me so hard. Man, if I play really good defense and I'm on him, there's no way in the world he's supposed to make a shot. I'm like, dude, this is still basketball, man.
Yeah.
And
So you know what I think happened with that discussion? I'm glad you brought that up. Because I agree with you. I think we're trying to get to the same place.
mhm,
Here's the thing about it, right? If you get a extremely heavy contest on somebody and they can still get a green, what this should mean is that white can't go in. So this
exactly. I have
means
no
that
problem
that
with that.
green is the only way for them to make the shot, and it's
Exactly.
extremely hard to hit. We're
Yes.
not saying that their shot is unaffected by your defense, but is there a way to 110% cancel out someone's ability to make the shot, even if they have a great player and you're all in their shorts?
No.
That's not basketball.
Thank
Basketball
you.
doesn't work that way.
Thank you.
Occasionally, that shot goes in, especially if they're hot.
Thank
And
you.
and I think the thing about the green that people are misunderstanding is the green is a perfect release. So by allowing people to have the greens, you are now allowed to destroy everything but besides a perfect release. If they don't have to get a green and it's just the luck of the draw, then that means that that little percentage chance, it'll be completely separated from their skill. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if they shoot that shot and you guarded them so well that they only had a 2% chance of making that shot and it goes in, it doesn't matter what their release was because the 2% chance is what ruled it. Whereas by putting it in the green release window and making that window really, really, really tiny, you're having it be both skill based and percentage, which makes the shot actually harder to go in if the green is still possible.
I mean, that's pretty much what I'm saying, man. It's like I don't care who you are, but Zara is saying that holding a button is not skill-based shooting, and that shooting has to have more involved with it than just hitting a button. Honestly, I feel like it can be hitting a button. I just feel like the sweet spot that generates a green on the shot meter has to be drastically decreased when somebody is under
Well, there's
heavily
there's two
contested.
technical factors, right?
Hmm.
First and foremost, anything in a game that's one frame is extremely challenging to do, including pressing a button.
Hmm.
Because one frame is out of 60 frames, one frame is 1/60th of a second. The fastest a human mind can perceive something is something I think down to like 2 or 3 frames is like the absolute fastest that you can perfectly do something over and over. It might even be larger than that. It might be closer to like an 11th of a second that the human brain actually works. And this is at peak operating capacity. So what you're asking of the player is beyond the capacity of a human to do perfectly every single time to hit something in a one frame window. So the
Yeah.
answer is to leave them only one frame to get a green release on a heavily contested shot. That's part one. Part two is contested shots usually have different shot animations.
Yes.
So this is not them pulling up from the center of the 3 point line open in time of your green release. This is them hitting a one frame green on an animation that they don't see 100 times in a row while they
Exactly.
play the game. So,
And we're not,
again, a
and then
contested shot animation from a different angle.
right, and then we're not even also factoring in the fact that just human nerves, you know,
100%.
you know,
Because they're reacting to the defense.
they're reacting to the defense, they're reacting to the situation of the game. If it's a competitive, if it's an NBA 2K League game, you're reacting to the pressure that's going on in that particular environment. I don't think I really don't think it's too easy. I really don't. Zara's saying people, I mean, he's saying people cheat with the controllers. Well, that brings in an entirely different element, in my opinion, because if you're going to cheat with the controller, that's like saying, it's too easy for this dude to hit home runs. So we got to change the game. But he's on steroids.
Right. Change the steroids.
So, I mean, he's on steroids. So, of course, it's easy for him to hit home runs. So,
and
that to me,
honestly,
that's what a souped up controller is.
and if that's the issue, 2K cheat detection is relatively simple when it comes to controller inputs because that's all math language. So if someone is getting perfect inputs 50, 100 times in a row with a controller and they're getting green releases every time, you can tell that it's a digital signal that's happening in the controller. Like
Yeah.
it's not like, you can't stop people from cheating if you really want to. If that became a problem, that's the problem, not the
Yeah.
system.
Yeah. I just don't think they care enough in, park pro-am type settings.
Well, I know they don't care enough in Play Now Online. That's for sure.
Oh, they absolutely, man. I mean, you could play with your feet in Play Now Online. Nobody would care. They're not gonna care. Only like, this nobody's dying on that hill.